thing we're looking at. So after factorising polynomials in general, we have these other kind of simpler polynomials in a sense, called a sum of two cubes or a difference of two cubes, based on whether it has a plus or a minus. Okay. These are the general formulas, if you like, for factorising a sum and difference of two cubes, and it's given on your information sheet. Okay, so basically we look at what we're given in terms of, so if we have a look at example 4 here, we've got 8x cubed plus 64. We're going to treat that as a sum of two cubes. Okay, so if x cubed plus y cubed gives us this factorised form of x plus y in the first set of brackets, then x squared minus xy plus y squared. We're going to do the same to these two here, but we just got to think of them as what is our first term which is being cubed and what is our second term which is being cubed. Okay, so 8x cubed we could think of as 2x in brackets, which is cubed. Okay, because we know 2 cubed gives us the 8. As far as the 64 goes, we think, well, what number when we cube it gives 64? Okay, and it will be 4 cubed. Okay, so the sum of the two cubes is 2x and 4, which are both being cubed. Okay, and so what we do then is we look at what our rule is. Okay, so with the x cubed plus y cubed, that x is our first term, so in this case, in this particular example, the 2x is what would be just the x in our rule. Okay, and the y, which is being cubed, well, that's the 4. So it's a case of saying, okay, what do? We need two sets of brackets, and the first set of brackets will be our x plus y, so in this case is 2x plus 4. Okay, and then in our second set of brackets, we'll have x squared. So that is our 2x term, which is squared. So putting that in brackets. Then it's minus x times y. So that means we'll have minus 2x times 4. And then we've got plus y squared, so that gives us plus 4 squared. Okay, so, and then the next step really is just to think, well, can we simplify that a bit, do any multiplication, and so on. So we'll have, so the 2x plus 4 inside the first set of brackets isn't going to change, but then in the second set, well, we can get rid of those inner brackets, so the 2x squared becomes 4x squared, and then we can multiply our 2 and 4 to give us minus 8x, and then plus 16. And there's nothing more we can do. So yes, that second set of brackets is a quadratic, but that can't actually be simplified any further in this case. I mean, strictly speaking, I suppose we could, in terms of factorising it completely, we probably could take it out a little bit further. Well, in fact, so at this stage here, we can see in the first set of brackets there is actually a common factor of 2. And in the second set of brackets, there is a common factor of 4. So I guess we could take it that little bit further, take the 2 out from the first set of brackets, leaving us with x plus 2. And even in the second set of brackets, we could take out the 4, and I'll just put it out the front as well. Okay, leaving us with x squared minus 2x plus 4. And then that really couldn't go any further except that our 4 times 2 could give us 8. Which means that, I suppose just looking at that, this, I'll just choose a different pen colour, that at the very start, if we have a closer look at that, And that is kind of the first rule of factorising, is to look for a common factor. So we could actually take out the 8 from both the 8x cubed and the 64, which is 8 times x cubed plus 8. And so from that point there, we could actually use our rule for the sum of two cubes. And so we've got x cubed, but instead of plus y cubed, we've got plus 2 cubed. Okay, which would, we could then go straight to that last line there. So, I mean, it may not always work out that way, but certainly in this case it did. So there's a couple of ways you could go about it. It's probably a good idea to look for a common factor to start with. Okay, that is always a good idea, and is probably the best way. So essentially, whether it's a sum of two cubes or a difference of two cubes, these are the rules which are given on your information sheet. Just apply them to the specific question. Okay, think what is being cubed in both your first term and your second term, and then determine which of the rules you need to use, depending on whether it's a sum or a difference. Okay, so if that's okay, that's just then the next part of that. So there are a couple of questions on that, if I can just go back to what we have here. So questions 8 to 10 specifically are relating to those sums and differences of cubes. So you just spend